What's going down, Axial? Man. What's going down, Axial scale builders around the world? It's your boy Josh, aka Coleman, and you are now watching ScaleWars, Axial's official Battle of the Builders. All right, everybody, welcome back, man. Welcome back. I hope you're having a good start to your morning. Get that coffee, get them eggs and bacon and them biscuits and them toast and all that, all that stuff to start your morning with. Get ready, man, because we're about to have a battle. So first things first, just want to say thank you to everybody. ScaleWars is getting a lot of support right now. All the shares and stuff, I appreciate it. All the Patreon members, all the patrons, as they're called. Appreciate you guys, man. If you want to watch this early, it's available over there 6 days basically early. It comes out Sunday mornings on Patreon and comes out the following Saturday here on YouTube publicly. So just a heads up for everybody. And also, if you want to pick up your ScaleWars merch, link is in the description. Like always, get them ScaleWars t-shirts, hoodies, hats. No hats yet, but all that good stuff. So anyways, enough plugging the merch. Let's get into this, man. Today we are doing truggies. We've got three pretty sick truggies today. Kind of ranging in taste. It's kind of all over the map, but it's cool. I like it because it shows the variety in truggies. Now these ones, I want to say they're about mid-range. They're not going to be super crazy scale, but they're also not going to be, straight entry level. These are going to be a little bit more in the mid-range area, so they should provide a lot of inspiration for some people, but at the same time, they should be accomplishable for a lot of folks. So if you're just getting into building and stuff, this is all, mods and things, building skill levels that you should be capable of pulling off for the most part. One of them's got some styrene work and stuff done to it and things. But that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and dive on into this. You already know what it is. See you on the battleground. Yeah. Alright, everybody, welcome back to the battleground. We're just going to dive right on into it today, no hesitation. First up, we've got this wicked looking truck here. It's from a gentleman named Ricky Johnston. And Ricky Johnston. And Ricky is out of Santee, California here in the United States. He is 36 years of age, and it looks like he's been subscribed to ESP since August of 2017. So it looks like it's probably around the time he submitted this too. Maybe a little later, because we're still working through last year's submission. So let's see. No, I guess, well, we're almost up to November, so he probably would have been subscribed for a little bit before submitting. But looks like he started building RC 10 years ago, and he said he started building RC crawlers about 3 years ago. The project we're looking at right here, he calls it Big Rick, and it's, it says right on the windshield there. For those of you that didn't notice yet, just look at that thing, man. Beast of a truck. Super beast. Now, let's see. Detailed part and paint list goes like this. Rusty SSD D60 axles with overdrive gears. Vanquish Stage 1 kit. Energy tranny case with steel gears. 32 pitch spur and pinion, Junefac steel drive shafts, Boom Racing internal sprung or 10 millimeter shocks, Savix 1230 TG servo, SSD D-hole 1.9 wheels with Proline Hyrax tires, Tekin Pro 35 motor, the Tekin FRX ESC. He says he's waiting for delivery on that still, so it probably isn't going to be in the pictures, I'm assuming. And then STRC H-brace in rear, custom-made roll cage. He says he made it, and I always like to see that, home fab stuff. Now, military-style camo green is the paint with rusty dents, and this is a Ford F-350 cab and bedsides. You can get those from Tamiya. Now, the headlights, he says they have blue halos, and the rock lights Oh, he just says there's headlights with blue halos and rock lights. I see. And then he says there's no interior. So, of course, you're going to lose points on your interior. That's how this works. It doesn't matter how much I like the truck or how much the audience likes the truck. Really, it matters how I score it. And, you know, for those of you that are curious, basically I've got 10 categories I go through on a scale of 1 to 10. You basically start off right in the middle with an even 5, and you can either gain or lose points depending on the scale. Basically, you know, how you build it in relation to my scoring. So, or I lost myself there. Basically, you can gain 5 points and get up to 10, or lose 5 points and go down to 0, depending on how well you do. So basically a factory truck is going to get 5s all the way across the board, and then if you ruin that factory truck and make it look less scale, you're going to lose points, you're going to go down. If you manage to make it better, you will increase points and can get up to 100. So hope that makes sense. I kind of lost where I was going with that for a second. Anyways, all right, let's dive back into this. Now, here's what he says. He says, yes, there's hood pins, LOL. Sorry, bud, but they work the best for me to change out battery quick on trail and hold good on trail without dealing with screws, LOL. He says, you hate body pins, I hate screws, ha 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 ha. all right. So fair enough. I understand where you're coming from. You're giving an explanation as to why you're doing it. However, I'm going to give you an explanation as to why it should still not be there here in just a second. All right, so the build classification is a trail truck, and on a scale of 1 to 10, he rates this a 5, so right smack dab in the middle. Now, as far as who we'd like to give a shout out to, he says San Diego RC Bashers and Team Yonks, RC Killers, and El Cajun Hobbies. So shout out to all you guys. You know, obviously you all are important. You matter because you're bringing people into this hobby. So that being said, let's dive into Big Rick here, man. Let's go ahead and talk about this rig. First impression, I think it looks wicked. Obviously, this picture's taken in the dark, so I'm not going to see any detail or anything. I can see the body pins. I can see you're missing your... well, I can't really tell if you're missing windshield wipers or not, but I can see you're missing the mirrors. I can see that you got the Dana 60s on there, super wide. It's okay, but the wheels and tires look extra big because of that. And I'm going to go into why that is and why, you know, for the most part, it really doesn't matter with these forward bodies. And the reason is the forward bodies are closer to 1/14th scale, all right? That may be 1/12th really, but I think they're marketed as like 1/14th or something like that, right? They're pretty small. They're a lot smaller than your traditional 1/10th scale bodies. The issue is they're really cool, and there's lots of stuff available for them, and they're extremely affordable. So I have one myself. That's 666 is built from one. So when I built 666, I did everything I could to mask the fact that the body was still fairly small. So when you put, you know, the D60s underneath of it, it's going to be extra wide, so it's going to push those wheels out even further. And then when you put the 1.9s on there that are, you know, fairly large in outside diameter, they may be small outside diameter in comparison to, you know, 2.2s and other 1.9s, but in comparison to this body, the dimensions wind up being off a little bit. So therefore, you wind up with, you know, a pretty extreme looking build. You know, it's not completely unrealistic, but it's not that realistic either, just based on the fact that you see what I'm saying. Look, for instance, the wheel and tire, right? If you were to put a person in there, they're to jump out and see that wheel and tire, that's like, I'm pretty sure that'd be bigger than a 54-inch tire. You know, that's pretty massive right there. So it's just hard to, you know, it's hard to make a forward body from Tamiya look super scale. It can be done, don't get me wrong, but it just, you know, it takes a lot of effort. So my first impression is this is more built for performance and just having fun, having a good time, and just kind of giving a scale appearance along the way. That would be my guess. Let's just keep going though. Underneath, looks pretty good. I like the rust that you got going on. I would take that rust and drag it all through all of this, you know. Put a little rust on your links, your drive shafts, put a little bit in the chassis here, and just kind of tie it all in with that rust, because if you've got it on your axles and everything else that bad, I think you'd have some more on the rest of it. And that would probably just help give it a little more of a, you know, unified look. Not having an interior obviously is going to kill you on that right there, because you can see straight through. But if you were to get an interior in there, that would be really cool, man. And since I've got a recommendation on that too, since we're going to be talking about interiors and, you know, making things scale. I like this. Looking from the top, this looks good. Now imagine those weren't there, right? Imagine those weren't there. It would just look that much better, obviously. But I like your, I almost said bar work. I've been watching too many Australian off-road shows. But I like all the metal work going on back here. It looks pretty good, you know. I think it's cool that you went with all the rusted metal and rusted look and everything. Here is what I would recommend doing, okay? Now, you say that you have the hood pins because it's easy for you to get the body off so you can change your battery while you're out on trail. So here's what I would say, all right? And before I get into that, here you can really see the size of those wheels and tires in comparison to that body there. They're just really large, but it still looks really cool though. I love those wheels and tires. But here's what I would recommend, okay? Interior. It's the first thing I would address, all right? Interior, because you're going for the look of truck that you have, this looks to me kind of like a TTC truck or some kind of crazy, you know, just trail truck, something somebody's just going to just have some fun with, right? I would personally put a Wraith interior in it. The reason I go for a Wraith interior is because they're easy to modify, chop short, all that stuff. You can mount the racing seats right up to it. It would give it that racing mud truck, rock racer, TTC type look that you would have anyways. You know, you wouldn't have a factory Ford interior in a truck like this, I would assume. So doing a racing style interior would make sense. So throwing a Wraith interior would be a smart move. Plus the Wraith interior clears the Axial transmissions really easily. So that's something I would do personally. I'd modify one to fit. You'll definitely have to cut it down, but I'm sure you can make it happen. And in doing that, it's going to add some scale detail. Then you can take your windows out and, you know, add a little bit of paint maybe to those door handles, maybe even add some broken mirrors on there, you know. And it's okay if they're broken as long as they're there, right? And then it gives it that look of realism. And then another thing you could do would be to add, so around the windshield, the windows here, add a little black on the trim, right? Just add a little black on that trim there would really help out. And that's really it for as far as the interior and stuff goes, you know. And you could take it as far as you want, but just as a base, that's what I would do. And then to get rid of the body pins, well, I would just get rid of them altogether, right? And then I would do this. Where's that other shot? I would build, this is just me personally, I would build a battery box in the back right here. You have all this open space. I would build a battery box right in the center that looks like some form of either gas tank, fuel cell, or a like a toolbox of some kind, right? And just make it right there, so you don't even have to take anything off. You could just crack it open, flip a lid or whatever, pull your battery right out, unplug it, plug a new one back in, and then shut it, you know, and you're done. And you can use a body clip to keep it shut, you know. And that's what I would do personally. I have recently became a big fan of hiding batteries and putting batteries in things, you know, disguised in other things, basically. So that's what I would do, and that would change your weight balance a little bit. So you're probably going to have to add a little bit more weight up front if you do that. But that's not a big deal, you know. That's, you just pull your tires, wrap a little lead around the rims, or, you know, throw some brass up there or something. You know, there's a bunch of stuff you could do. It doesn't look like you have disc brakes yet, so maybe you could do like the Samix disc brakes with the brass, you know, to get some more weight up there. Just, you know, I'm throwing out some ideas for you. I'm feeling real creative today. I want to help everybody out, but that is what I would do personally. It would just give a really cool look to it. I don't know. I think that it will just look good. I don't know why I thought these Dana 60 axles were extra wide, but maybe they're not. They look like they're the same as, like, you know, Axial's AR44s. So maybe I just was under the impression they were like the AR60s. But it's still, that's what I would look into personally. Let's keep this going from the back. It looks beast. Definitely looks like it's been rolled a handful of times, but that don't matter. Getting some lights on there, even if they're just painted on, you know. I mean, obviously you wouldn't have actual functioning lights in something like this, but I mean, you might, but just painting them red would be cool. And then putting one of those race lights like the desert rigs have in the back window, that would be pretty wicked. Or even a light bar. Love the axles though. And there's a shot before it's all rusted out. Still looks good like that too. I like the black grill too, and the black lights like that. There it is, all stripped down, naked. It's a really simple build, man. There's really not a lot going on under there. It's really clean. It's nice. I like it. I think it's a cool build, man. I think you did a good job. There's Big Rick, man. What's up? Oh, hold on. Let me get his whole name here. Ricky Johnson. There's Ricky Johnson. Thank you very much, Ricky, for submitting your build, brother. I appreciate it, man. Thing's wicked. Hopefully some of them tips help you out. You know, you take them, leave them, whatever. But I try to do my best to help out. If it was my build, basically, that's how I look at it. Big fan of the Ford trucks. Hopefully I see more of those on here. Actually, I'd like to do like a Ford, Chevy, Dodge, like a big 3 showdown would be kind of cool. If you guys want to do something like that, get them builds submitted. That being said, you guys, jump in the comment section. Give Ricky some feedback. Let him know what you would do if this was your build. You know, what kind of tips and tricks do you have for him? Are you seeing anything on here you'd like to apply to your own rig? What do you think about his Big Rick here? So that being said, I'm gonna slide up out of here on our next build. Let's do it. Alright, you guys, we're back with our second entry of the day. This is a Ford Truggy here. This one's submitted to us by, you know what, I don't want to mispronounce her name because her husband is a big fan of the show, huge supporter, and has actually been on here several times himself. And I should know it. Elise or Alice? I don't know. I think it's Elise. I'm pretty sure it's Elise. It's A-L-Y-S-E. You guys let me know in the comments. I'm sure they're going to jump in the comments and let me know as soon as they see this, because I'm going to use her build for the cover shot for the thumbnail. So, Elise Catton. I don't know why I'm struggling with that. Whoo! You can slap me when you see me, girl. I already know. Anyways, Bishop, California is where she is from. She is 33 years of age. She has been subscribed to ESP for 2 years. She says, my husband and I watch the channel together. And I am very well aware of that because Brandon is a big supporter. He's also a patron. And yeah, I just like having them around. They're good people. They're positive people. And I appreciate subscribers like them. So, it looks like they started, so that's what I meant to say was thank you for your subscription. I appreciate that. So, let's see here. Where am I? Lost my spot on my page here. So I started building RCs. She started building RCs in 2016. The make and model of this one right here, obviously SCX-102. It is, PNSNV. I'm sure you guys can put that together. Detailed part and paintless goes like this: Axial SCX-102 RTR, Axial AE5 ESC with a 35 turn motor, Tactic servo, Tactic radio and receiver, HR steel transmission gears and spur gear, Proline Racing F250 Honcho body with the Axial Honcho rear cage, One Too Many RCs V3 Ghost Edition light bar, homemade light controller wired to the 3rd channel, Axial Ripsaw 1.9 tires on Axial Walker Evans wheels with matching spare. Woo, excuse me. And let's see, RC 4-wheel drive tie downs and tough armor front bumper, Proline Racing scale shovel, fire extinguisher, water container and fuel container, Zotti's bags from Axial Fest 17, sleeping bag and mat. You know what, I have some of her bags too, now that I think about it. I think she was actually in the Axial Fest movie from 2017 or 2016. I know 2017 is not yet, but alright, anyways. Axial ammo can, Scale Minis, lantern, Snow Mod RC custom front body mount, half interior radiator, small recovery ramp, tow strap, propane tank, and dual air tanks with hose. Scale CB antenna, Gen 1 SCX-10 Honcho rear frame piece with tail lights. Okay, so she got that from a Gen 1 Honcho. She didn't wait for the Gen 2. She got that from Gen 1. Painted stock Axial hubs, Crawler Concepts custom license plates. What else we got on here? She says the truck is painted flat black inside and flat black outside on the grill. The design on the bottom and the light bar are wrapped from SOR graphics. The interior is black plasti dip and silver paint pen. And she says she is well driven and got me through Axial Fest 2017. So I chose to keep the 10.2 as stock as possible mechanically because it is very capable rig as is. I'll only replace things as they go out or aren't strong enough. The interior is still a work in progress. I may be going with a hard body instead very soon, so it may get set aside for another build. Alright. And then the build classification, trail truck, obviously. And on a scale of 1 to 10, she rates this a 4. So I think she's being a little modest there. Now, as far as who she'd like to give a shout out to, she says there's only really one person that I can give a shout out to. She says, my husband. The one and only Brandon Cadden, aka Snowmod RC. Without him, I probably would have never gotten into crawling. He is my rock and my crawling inspiration. Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and add to that and say she's crawling on her rock inspiration. I couldn't help it. Alright, cheesy. Alright, that is awesome though. Shout out to Brandon. Shout out to Elise. I'm so sorry if I'm saying that wrong this whole time. And let's go ahead and take a look at her build, man. Let's take a look at her build. I love getting couples on here. I just think that's awesome that we have couples that watch this show together. So first impression, what do you guys think? First impression, I think, well, first impression is you guys took one heck of a shot here. This is a great photo. I love the detail, high pixel, very, very good photo. The truck has been driven a lot. I like that. But, you know, as far as little things, I'm noticing that you got your window half down. I like little things like that. That's, you know, going the extra mile. So I like that. I like the wrap matching on the, you know, the light bar in the lower part of the body. The bumper looks good. I would definitely add some shackles to it though, and try to get a winch up on there. Obviously you said you're going towards your hard body, but we're still going to judge it as if you're running this. I love that you did the plastic dip. I think that was slick. I like that you did the all black inside and out. That was a smart move. You can see, look, there's just nothing in there. It's just all blacked out like it should be. Love that. Wish it had some mirrors. Wish it had some windshield wipers. I know it's, you know, it's something that a lot of people don't have, but it's, you know, it's the little things like that that I feel make a big difference. Love what you did with the hubs. You took the time to actually paint them up. You also painted on the wheels. Walker Evans, I like that. It's just, you're off to a really good start, you know. They say women have good attention to detail, and I think that shows. This photo is pretty cool, but it's not going to help us much here. But it definitely looks cool. It shows you guys some of the terrain at Axial Fest. Definitely go register now because it's open. Registration is open, and I'm sure it's filling up fast. Let's go to our next shot here. There's a shot looking down from above. We can see some of the scale accessories here. I like that she's got the mat track strapped over the spare. She's got actual scale accessories that you would find in a lot of these, you know, your water, your sleeping bag, the lantern, you know, your propane and gas, things like that, you know, things of that nature. That's stuff that you would actually see in a trail truck. So I like that. The antenna is cool. Again, with the wrap, that's really cool. Interior, like thereof, it's off to a start, but you never really finished it. So, you know, you're definitely going to lose points in the interior. I see what you're going for. You kind of gave it that, you know, dash with a tunnel and floorboard look, but I would have loved to see you go the extra mile and actually knock this all the way out. Some styrene work would go a long ways in here, just dropping it down. I mean, you were halfway there. You had almost the base there. After this point, it becomes fairly easy. So throwing some, you know, the little half seat thing in the back, or a stereo even in the back where the, you know, little seat would be pretty cool. Getting some seats in here would be cool, but you know, I do give you some points for at least putting something here. You know, you took the time to put something there. You've got a dash, you've got a little bit of a floorboard and center console, so you will get some points. Side shot there looks pretty good. Booty shot looking good. License plate cracks me up. I like it, man. I like it a lot. Or I should say, woman. It's looking good. Looking good. I like it. Underneath there, like she said, she kept the stock. She felt she didn't need to upgrade anything, and clearly she didn't need to because it's still running. So, yeah, it's factory. You know, it looks good. You won't get a lot of points, obviously, for having it just bone stock underneath, but it looks good. I like it. You know, and that's the thing with Axial is they got a good rig right out of the box. The only thing you really have to do is just make them look super realistic, and then you know, bring your performance back up after you do so. There's an interior shot looking at the other side there. You can totally see where you know, you were heading the right direction with this. You even got the arc going for the forward dash, you know, like You're heading there. I had to yawn real quick. I actually like the grill there too. I like that you took the time to put, it looks like an AC condenser and a radiator up in there. I don't know if it's both, but it looks like you got a lot going on. So that was a good move. I like that a lot too. And having a straight axle underneath the Ford makes sense because they actually have that. But I would like to see leaf springs on something like this. Would be really cool if you want to take it that extra mile. Another thing I would like to see would be some actual lights instead of the stickers. I know that Brandon has a 3D printer and he's getting pretty dang good at printing stuff off, so printing off some light buckets for this body would probably be feasible, I would assume. Other than that, that's it. So there they are. That is, I'm assuming that's the little snow mod right there, man, or little snowman. And Alice, good Lord, I should have hit you guys up on Facebook to check before I did this. I appreciate you taking the time to submit your build. You put a lot of work into it. I know that it's mainly stock underneath, but you definitely added your touch to it, and I appreciate that. It's nice to have some more females on here. If there's other women watching this, don't hesitate. I'm not gonna beat you guys up. I'm not gonna, throw you under the bus. I actually really appreciate it, when we get females involved with this hobby, and when we go to Axial Fest, you see more and more. The first time I went to Axial Fest, there's hardly any women there. This last year I went to Axial Fest, there was a ton of women there, and it just felt so amazing because it shows that it's being accepted by by the other sex, and it's always been like a predominantly male hobby, and the more that women start to accept it, the more that the general public will start to accept it. And that's the power of the female, man. Women are extremely powerful. So I appreciate you taking the time to give my show attention and to enter your build for me to pick apart. And you guys jump in the comments, same as with anybody else. Give her some feedback, tips, tricks, don't be rude, obviously, you know the rules. And yeah, that being said, on to our third and final entry. Let's do this. Alright, you guys, we've got our third and final entry of the day. This one's pretty sick looking too. This is from a gentleman named Luke Oliver, and Luke is let's see, he's out of I gotta move my stuff over here. He's out of Lismore, New South Wales, Australia. I was just talking about, I said I was watching too many Australian. We've got an Australian in the building. Shout out to Australia. So he is 25 years of age. Looks like he's been subscribed to ESP for about 2 years now. Almost 2 years, he says. And I appreciate that, sir. Looks like he started building RCs back in 2015. This one we're looking at here, he calls it the Jeep Ute. It's SCX10 base. Now the detailed part and paint list goes like this. He says Jeep China body cut and made into a Ute, honcho tray, homemade tool, homemade toolbox, homemade swag, scaled dogs, okay, homemade tow strap, toy scale guns, custom Ford motor mount, Trailmaster ESC, and Crawlmaster motor. For those of you who don't know, those are Holmes Hobbies products. GT light kit, Yeah Racing disc brakes, locked up RC wheels with scale hardware, 1.9 super swampers, Vanquish stage 1 kit, GPM CMS kit. Now the build classification, he says, is a trail truck, and on a scale of 1 to 10, he rates this one a 6. It's yeah, about, I don't know, maybe about right. It might be a little modest, but let's see. As far as who we'd like to give a shout out to, he says ESP for putting on such a great channel, my fiance for putting up with my RC stuff everywhere, and anyone that shares their tips and tricks. It all helps. Awesome, man. I couldn't agree more. Shout out to you. I appreciate that. And shout out to your wife, too. And if you guys are following this right now, you're watching, you know what to do, man. Jump in the comments section. Give your feedback, just like as if it's a live stream or anything else. Tips, tricks, ideas, things that you've done on your own, things that you would like to see done on it. Just basically make it a conversation. That's the whole goal here, is to make it a conversation where, people watching this and people involved with this can benefit from that conversation. So that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this one. First impression. I gotta say, first impression is pretty good, man. I think it looks really cool. It's unique. I don't think I've ever seen the honcho truggy cage on a Jeep body quite like that. I think it's cool that you use the newer style body. Everyone calls them the China body. I don't know about that. To me, it's just a Jeep body. I don't really care where it's from. I mean, the Axial SCX10 is made in China, so I mean, we call it the China SCX10. So that's why it's a Jeep, and I think that it's cool that you made a Jeep into a truggy, and I think it's cool that you got the body that has like all the detailed interior and opening doors and everything, because it's just that much more realistic. I love the wheel and tire combination. I love, basically, I don't know if I'd say that I love the color choice, but I love the all black look. And it's not like a gloss black. It's more like a, maybe it is, but in this picture it looks like a matte black. And I just think it gives a nice, cool, uniform color. You can tell it used to be the yellow body underneath. That's one of the problems with painting these hard bodies. You really got to layer them up to get rid of that, you know. And it looks like you had a few issues with your paint here. I can see, you know, it's cracking and stuff. So maybe it's time to sand it down, give it a fresh paint job. As far as the body work goes in the back here, you're a little bit off here. I can see where the lines aren't perfect, you know, but altogether, you know, I give you an A for effort. You definitely took the time to build this up right there using, I'm assuming, styrene. And it looks good. You know, at first glance, you're not going to notice that type of stuff. It's definitely nitpicking. So, again, with the wheels and tires, I love that combination. I like that you painted these hubs up too. I love that people are doing that. I like the disc brakes in the back. I love the scale hardware. Let's keep moving. You know, you could benefit from some inner fender wells. That would definitely help out here. Because I can see all the activity going on up under there. So, let's keep moving. Interior shot, look good. This guy's got hella swag. Look at the hearts on the shirt. This guy has got game, dude. He's gonna take over. That's my hero. I like that you painted up the steering wheel, added, you know, some cool look to it, made it look like it's got a one of the steering wheel covers on it. I don't know what's on the dash up there, but I'm assuming it's, you know, a swagger gun, because this guy's got all the swag. There, that shot's looking in a little blurry, but it's kind of cool. You got a light out though, but whoop-de-whoop, that happens. I got trucks with lights out. Dogs are definitely in for a ride. Look at them. In the back there, this guy, man, this guy's like all about that life, dude. He got the straps, he got the axe, he got the shovel. Everything's all bloody, man. Like, he got the dogs and chain. I don't think this guy's been up to no good, man. I see the scale axle. You got an axle back there, replacement RCV or whatever. Got the gas. You know, it's looking good. It's looking good. Got the gun up front too, man. This guy is ready for war. Got a little paint going on in here. Can't really see much because it's all blurry though. It's definitely dirty, man. You gotta take this thing out and get vacuumed. That's a cool shot. The backs look good. I love Super Swampers personally. I don't know about the blue underneath. Them blue lockouts are a little crazy looking. I would have stuck with the black myself, but not too bad. Getting a matching spare would be nice too. You got a lot going on back there though. I don't know, man. There's a lot going on. Here in the front, look pretty good. Not too shabby, man. Not too shabby. Maybe get some plates on there. It's all clean though. I'd like to see something like some tow hooks, D-rings, a winch, something. Oh, excuse me. That yelling came out of nowhere. Where'd you get the red Axial sticker? I don't think I've seen one of those in a long time. Since like maybe like the Bouncing Betty body or whatever. It's looking good, man. A little crazy over here. I don't know. You got a little stuff going on. Kind of getting sloppy with the glue or whatever, but you know, it's cool. You can put in a little antenna. I appreciate that. It's cool looking, man. This thing looks like fun. It's a cool little rig. It's definitely a little rough still, you know, but it looks like it gets driven. You know, it wasn't built to be a shelf queen or anything. Definitely looks like it's getting driven. Underneath, looking pretty good. Looks like he's got the motor mounted up front with the transfer case and all that, but as you can see, still SCX10 trans, so it's legal. Again, with the blue, not a big fan of the blue stuff. Underneath here, you could actually use styrene to build in areas here, you know, like battery trays, like build actual battery trays that enclose the battery so you don't see it like this, right? That's something I would highly recommend doing. Again, with the, you know, getting the wheel wells in there, the inner fenders. Painting the red part of this body black would also help. Just kind of clean it up underneath there. And, you know, that's really it. There's not a whole lot you can do. I mean, it is what it is. It looks pretty good for the most part. The wires are cleaned up for the most part too. I see you got them loomed up and everything, so it's not too bad. Little bit of funk going on right here, but whoa, 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 whoa. There we go. A little bit of funk going on right here, but it's not horrible, man. This is actually a pretty cool build. And that's it. And there he is. There's Luke. Shout out to you, Luke. I appreciate you taking the time, sir. Your build is slick, and you look familiar. I feel like we hung out at Axial Fest or something. I could be wrong, though, because you're from Australia, but there was people from Australia there. So, anyways, shout out to you, Luke, and if you didn't make it to Axial Fest yet, man, maybe you'll make it this year. So, bring your build, and I'll see you there. Appreciate you guys all participating today. You know, if you guys still haven't jumped in the comments, take a moment before you leave, jump in the comments, just let everybody know what you think of their builds. They appreciate it more than anybody. I appreciate it as well. And then also, if you guys are interested in this, you enjoy this type of content, subscribe. I got all kinds of things going on in this channel. We do something new, you know, at least 3 times a week, sometimes up to 5-6 times a week. And what else? Also, check out the Patreon. Link is in the description. Check out the merch. Link is in the description. And check out the website. Link is in the description. You already know what it is. I'm going to get up out of here. See you guys out on the trails. Peace and chicken grease, fam. Yeah.